Yora, my name's Joseph, and I'm here today to talk to you about the violence that's been perpetrated by Destiny Church here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, particularly upon marginalised communities. Saturday, the 21st of June, on my way down Queen Street to the Palestinian support rally in Auckland, I was attacked by a group of four thugs from Destiny Church. They tried to charge me, knocking me down, and when I got up, they knocked me down again. Luckily, my injuries were only minor. At the time, I had no idea why this was happening until I saw the throngs of men wearing Man Up t-shirts coming up the street towards me. And many of them abused me as I walked down the road after that. When I saw footage of the event that Destiny Church had just held, which not coincidentally was right next to where the Palestinian support rally is always held, and just before the time that it's always held, I was horrified. They burnt the flags and trampled on them of the countries of the refugees who were present right next to them at the time. This is despicable. Haven't these people been traumatized enough? Well, not it seems for Destiny Church members' satisfaction. So far, I've heard of 4 other people who were assaulted that day. And that shouldn't be a surprise, though. Destiny Church has a history of perpetrating violence, such as at the Te Atatu Library last year. The fact that they've not apologised for that action, let alone issued a public statement telling their members not to use violence, is very telling. What does it tell us? That they condone it. No wonder those youngsters felt okay about roughing me up. What next? Direct attacks on women wearing headscarves? Everybody must call these people out because their behaviour is unchristian and it's often illegal. In fact, that church should be struck off the charitable register. And wider action needs to be taken by the government and society in general. In a press release, Maranga Mai, which is the working group of the People's Action Plan Against Racism, said, "We condemn in the strongest possible terms the escalating campaign of hate and intimidation led by Destiny Church, saying that the church poses a clear and present danger to the safety and freedoms of marginalised communities in Aotearoa." Group spokesperson Bianca Ranson said, "The open vilification of ethnic and faith-based communities, as well as Rainbow Takatapui whānau, cannot be excused as free speech." She went on to say, "The actions of Destiny Church are a coordinated campaign of hate, targeting those communities with escalating threats and violence. This is not protest action, nor is it free speech. This is intimidation. It is harm." The lead group advisor, Tina Nata, said, "This is exactly the kind of hate speech and actions that foreshadowed the Christchurch Mosque's terrorist attacks. And when the Muslim communities are violently targeted, our state repeatedly fails to respond with appropriate urgency." And she went on to say again, "The recommendations of the Royal Commission of Inquiry into the terrorist attacks remain largely implemented, which means these communities are left feeling vulnerable and it encourages acts of hate to flourish. Without decisive actions, the risks faced by marginalised communities will only intensify." Well, I think this situation is just unbelievable, because what on earth is it going to take for the government to act? Surely the death of 51 people and the shootings of 50 others would have been enough to spur this government to think, yeah, we should actually enhance the protection levels we provide for Muslim community members. Hell, even before the mosque attacks, the Muslim leadership was calling on the government and police to increase their level of protection because there was an increasing level of abuse and racist attacks upon them prior to it. So I say the government has to act now before anything further happens. Marangamai have made a number of calls of action. They say that there needs to be the urgent implementation of the recommendations of the Royal Commission, protection for these communities. And they suggest that there needs to be the creation of a strategy for developing cohesion in the country. And there needs to be sustainable funding for education and community-led initiatives that build anti-racism capability and promote true inclusiveness so that everybody feels like they belong and kids growing up regard all kinds of people as being accepted into the general community whānau. They also request the creation of a national independent reporting mechanism for racist incidents, which is currently being developed by the People's Action Plan. But that's actually something the government should provide. Now, the People's Action Plan website, for which I have a link below, includes safety tips on how to protect yourself when you're out in public, and also some information on how to respond should you be the recipient of a racist attack. I strongly support the idea of a reporting mechanism, and I think we need a register of incidents. The people who have been assaulted in this latest event from Destiny Church could already have their information on a register, and an organisation like the People's Action Plan or the government could be building a case for action against Destiny. In the future, I encourage people to report any incidents to Marangamai through the form on their website. This hopefully will help in building that case against them. We need to improve the way in which we handle Destiny Church and change their perception of what is something that they think they can get away with, and ultimately what they think is acceptable. Thank you.